right, y'all. So I'm here with Caleb and David. At the time of us recording this, we have this situation going on with J. Cole and No Name. J. Cole put out a new song, and the song is called Snow on the Bluff.
So what happened is in the sequence of like everything that's going on is basically late May. Obviously there's been a lot of stuff going on with Black people and racism and police brutality, and No Name put out this tweet. She said, "Poor Black folks all over the country are putting their bodies on the line in protest for our collective safety, and y'all favorite top-selling rappers not even willing to put a tweet up. Niggas' whole discographies be about Black plight, and they nowhere to be found." So people are speculating that J. Cole made a song called Snow on the Bluff in response to this. He has not clarified whether or not this is actually about her, but he has recognized that people think that it's about her. And then he went on to speak about it in the song, and he clarified afterwards that he stands by everything that he said, and he still wants people to follow her, and he still wants people to recognize the work that she's doing, and he left it at that. The rest is for us to speculate and to converse about. And that's what we're going to expand on today. Go ahead, Caleb.
Wow, that was great.
All right.
Nice.
That was good. Okay.
That's it.
So basically, my opinion on the song is, you see, because J. Cole didn't really tell us, so we're leaving it up to interpretation, and it's music, so it's an art form. It's always up for interpretation. And what I'm thinking is, because No Name was directing that tweet at specifically rappers whose discographies and what they're basically the main topics that they hit on their songs about Black struggle and about, you know, the shit that people go through in the hood and stuff like that. And you have this whole like collection of artwork targeting this one specific social issue. And then when it comes time to actually, you know, when it comes time for action and it comes time to actually show, you know, what you're about, you're nowhere to be found. And the only two rappers I think of off the top of the head when she puts that out is J. Cole and Kendrick, two of which aren't really heavy on social media, you already know, right? So J. Cole felt like, you know, he was being attacked, as he said in the song. And I think the beginning of the song, he's talking about, let me pull up the lyrics real quick so I can accurately convey this. I feel like in the beginning of the song, he's talking about, okay, I'm on Twitter. I'm not that smart of a guy, but you know, I'm here on Twitter and I'm seeing this girl who's way smarter, way more woke than I am. And she's saying all these things about, you know, Black struggle and about, you know, stuff like that, like, and she's educated, like she's smart. But the way she's coming across is a bit condescending. And to me, I feel like if you want to make, you know, an impact with whatever you're saying to me, then you need to tone it down so that we can be more receptive to what you're saying. And I kind of understand the argument around, well, it shouldn't be the oppressor's job to teach the oppressed job to teach other people about, you know, the oppression. But with that being said, I don't think that anyone else would be in position to teach. Like, we can't expect white people to understand what goes on. I'm talking about like just non-racist, everyday white people understand what we go through on a daily basis unless we tell them that, because they're never going to know. They're never going to experience it. They'd never understand. In that same voice, you can't expect people to educate themselves on what's going on if they don't know what to educate themselves on.
Right.
Ain't no white boy who's like, damn, Billy went through like some police brutality. Let me go Google police brutality and figure out what's going on. Like, no one's going to do that. And until Billy's little friend goes up to him and says, yo, this is what's happening to me and this is what happens to people like me, no one's going to understand that. And on top of that, if Billy's friend, well, we'll say Jerome just for shits and giggles, goes up to Billy and he's angry and he's like, yo, F you, Billy. I hate people like you because you guys always do stuff like this. And Billy's like, yo, look, I never did anything. I didn't even know about this. Billy's not going to be receptive to what he's saying. And I think when it comes to Black women and Black men, there's been a lot going on. I think the problem with this song that J. Cole just dropped is he didn't he didn't read the room correctly as far as like what's going on now with
Time.
just black women and black women going missing, sexual assault, and all the other injustices to black women. And black women are fed up because they're like, look, we're standing up for black men, and we're not getting that reciprocation when it comes to injustices for black women. And now we have this thing where the black women who are upset at the black men are kind of just misdirecting their anger, I feel like, at J. Cole, who comes off like, hey, look, now you're over here attacking what a black woman is saying because you don't like the way she's saying it, but we're going through much more than that. And all J. Cole is saying is, look, if you want to be that activist and you want to educate me and my peers, you're going to have to talk to us like you want to educate us and not talk down on us. And I don't think that he said anything wrong. I think the timing of the song is bad. I don't think what he said specifically. I think there's one line I have a problem with, and I'll read it to y'all. He says, how you gonna leave when you attacking everyone the same? Niggas that really do need this shit that you saying. Instead of conveying you holier, come bring us up to speed. That's the type of shit that took like 200 years for our ancestors to be freed. I don't like that line because you're not gonna sit. That's like Kanye West-esque line. You can't blame black people for slavery or black oppression in general. Obviously, there's things that black people could have did better to educate each other, but that's the one line I have a problem with. But besides that, everything he's saying I think is valid. He's no dummy. He's not above criticism, but he's just something about her tone that's bothering him because he feels like he's doing something. J. Cole's out in the street marching, but now he feels like he's being attacked. And even if you say, well, why do you feel attacked if it's not about you? There's only two rappers it could really be about. And I don't think anyone's attacking Kendrick because Kendrick's not on social media. Kendrick's not going to sit here and post stuff on Twitter. So it's like, okay, he feels attacked because he feels like he's out here doing stuff, but because he hasn't tweeted something, someone's coming at his neck. And this was his response saying, look, I understand what you're saying. I understand your struggles. And at the end of the song, he says, I know I'm not doing enough, but if we as a people are going to educate each other, which we should, there shouldn't be no Google is free. Just do your own research. That's stupid. If we're going to educate each other, we got to watch how we talk to each other. Like, we all know that, like, the tone of voice and the way you say something means just as much as what you're saying. And I think that's the whole point of the song. I think the timing is off because there's bigger problems than the tone of voice directed towards each other in the black community. But I feel like it's important if we want to educate each other and grow. So that's my 2 cents.
So you guys know I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
Okay, let me hear it.
So from the beginning, when we look at the context of what Noname was saying at the time, it was after a while that we had been seeing a lot of the attacks on black men and women, especially in the media. Like, a lot of time had passed, and it was like slowly accumulating, and she was already trying to do the work in order to bring it to light and to try and educate people. And she has a book club dedicated to educating people in poorer class systems and stuff like that, right? However, when she looks up at J. Cole and Kendrick, and you could even throw Drake in there for a little bit, I guess, just because of his like status. She looks at them and she looks at the black men who have profited off of the culture, ultimately, right? And they seem to be silent during that time period at which she made that statement. So I can understand why she was calling them out, or rather, the two things that I'm going to present is accountability and urgency. I don't think she was trying to defame anybody. I do think she was trying to call them out for the purpose of holding them accountable, especially at a time of urgency, right? To me, we understand that J. Cole and Kendrick, they have been loudspeakers when it comes to black plight. However, in events of black plight, when she and others have been doing the actual work to try and educate people and bring things to light and expose them, she also recognized that at the time, that these top rappers have not been saying anything or have not been showing up, right? So I can understand the frustration that comes with wanting to see more effort, wanting to see more more of a push from the people that you admire and look up to, and not seeing them speak up at the time that you are actually doing, like you're stressing yourself out and you're drained and you're tired and stuff like that. It's just like, how come you're not putting in as much as we are? I can understand that. I can understand looking up to someone looking up to me and being like, hey, you're not speaking up enough about Black women right now because we're being abused in the streets and stuff like that. And a lot of Black women love your art, and you're being silent at a time that we need you to speak up for us. I can understand that. What I can understand even more is the fact that somebody else who looks up to me and cares about me wants to hold me accountable because they understand I have a larger contribution, or I can have a larger contribution to the conversation, because for some reason or another, people would be more inclined to hear what I'm saying as opposed to them. That's not even talking about the status. That's not even talking about the gender dynamics that goes into all that. We're just talking about platform, right? So you take that into consideration, as well as the contextual state of Black people in general. To me, I can understand why her tone wasn't like, I think everybody agrees that she could have had a better method of speaking, but that still misses the point to me. From what I've been hearing, it seems more of like, okay, because of the urgency behind it, the tone doesn't matter. Obviously, you like, if you have more tact and you try to give people medicine with the sugar, that's usually going to work. But in instances of urgency, tone is not a priority. If, God forbid, my brother is dying and we all are seeing it, and you guys have the opportunity to tell other people and get other people's attention to say, hey, this guy's brother is dying. Can we get him some help? And I feel like you're not doing enough in order to make that more known. I'm not worried about how I'm telling you. Understand the urgency behind what I'm telling you. You understand the importance of the message. And you also understand the urgency of why I'm telling you at the time that I'm telling you. I'm not worried about how I'm telling you. My main concern is to get help for the people that need it. So I can understand, like, okay, I may not have said that in the best way, but I'm not trying to be gentle right now. There's too much at stake for me to worry about your particular feelings. Yes, it may not be the best way, but that's not the point of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hold you accountable because of the urgency at hand and because you understand the gravity of the matter, right? So then when J. Cole comes out with a song to then, in response to what she's saying, he, one, recognizes that she's smarter and that she understands more than he does. He also recognizes that, okay, I understand why you're telling me this, right? So not only does he understand why he's telling her, he probably understands the accountability factor as well. And he understands that he's not doing enough. He's not doing as much. Like, he's like, you're right, you're smarter, and I don't get it, but please don't talk to me that way. Or please rephrase it. And that still misses the point because of the urgency of the matter. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, my brother is dying. I'm telling you, like, yo, can we get help for these people? Like, these are our people at the end of the day. I need you to get out here and be loud. I need you to do more. Like, that's not okay. And you're telling me, I get that, but I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. That makes me feel a different type of way. And I'm glad that you also activated the white and black trap card, because now I'm going to relate it to the Lecrae and Lou Giglio or whatever conversation, and how Lou Giglio, he said, okay, I understand, or we understand, that white people feel pierced by the phrase white privilege. So let's rephrase it to white blessing. And to rephrase something to sort of coddle or be gentler with the people who have a higher status does not aid the issue. It does not change it. Like, you're trying to make the oppressors or people who have more power feel more comfortable when their comfortability is not the center of the issue. We have something to do. We have something to progress towards. how you feel about the matter is not of prime importance right now because of the urgency of the matter. You know what I mean? So I can understand why tone may not have been Noname's top priority, because she's trying to do more in the streets, and she understands that these other guys, these other people who have a huge platform can also do more as well. So she's not trying to coddle anybody's feelings. She's going to Black men who are actually the center or the most at risk of this. And she's saying, okay, you have a platform and you have done so in the past. I understand that you understand what's going on. So how come in these moments, when me and my people are tired and frustrated and drained, you are silent? Or it seems as though you are silent. What are you doing? And how can you do more?
It seems that you're silent. Because that's the thing. When you start assuming stuff like that, like how even with Kanye, Jay-Z, and Beyonce, but where's Kanye at now? He only come out when he's selling a record. And then all of a sudden we find out, Kanye donated mad money to the families, you know? Beyonce and Jay-Z, they did this, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what's going on. With Cole, we don't, like, from what we've seen, all we've been seeing is like pictures of him out on Twitter, like he's marching and stuff like that. Then just last night, he just dropped this song. And it's like, we're going to get to the song. But he drops that song. But then on top of that, it's like, again, like with the Kanye thing, like I feel like Cole, he does everything in steps. It's like, okay, first, let me just throw this out there. Now this is out the way. I got a bigger project that I really want us to address. You know what I mean? Like, and so I feel like we hopped. And of course, I understand not everybody knows Cole that much. I mean, I don't really know him, but like, y'all know I'm like a huge fan. Caleb's a huge fan. So it's like, I watch his interviews. I listen to all his music. It's like, if I know Cole, I would not be surprised if soon he's dropping something that's going to make us all be like, oh, okay. The same way that when we were talking stuff about Kanye, I mean, I wasn't, but when people were talking stuff about Kanye and now he's not doing anything during these times, then it came out like actually he donated mad money to the families of Ahmaud and all of them. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you didn't, but you spoke too soon. You know what I mean? And so with Cole, again, this could just be speculation, but I feel like we just hopped too quickly to be like, he's not doing like anything. When we already saw him like out in the streets, like he's marching with them. And sure, maybe that's not enough still, but like now going back to the song, what got me, because there's so many different points, and it's like for me, I'd have to like address each point. But the first thing that I would want to address is the whole concept of tone policing. To me, this is not tone policing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is. I think that tone policing is such a stupid phrase, in my opinion. Like, I personally think that is a dumb phrase. Do I think that tone is important? Of course, but I don't think that anybody's necessarily policing it. And what I see on Twitter is a whole bunch of Black women getting upset, and now they're calling Cole a misogynist. What? No, I feel.
Jamila, I'm interested to hear your opinion on all this.
Well, Caleb, I honestly feel like you made a lot of great points, and you were saying a lot of the things that I was thinking. But hold on, I wrote some things down.
Okay.
I was on here because I enjoy arguing with him. Yeah, honestly, I feel like that last thing you said, for me, is kind of the root of the issue. David kept talking a lot about urgency, but it's like, kind of like what the heck is urgency with like social media? Like everybody thinks everything has to be urgent because that's the age. Like we're in the age of social media now. Mm-hmm. But like that's not even like social media isn't real. And it's not like it's not like, because the conversation is about Twitter, essentially. So it's not like somebody's life was at stake based on if he tweeted or not. Like, that just doesn't really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and like the same thing what Denzel was saying, like with Kanye and Jay-Z and Beyonce and everything like that. Like, at this point, I see the pattern. Like, I recognize how they operate. I'm not going to judge them by the way that they choose to use their platform. Like, just like Jay-Z, everybody wanted to get on him about, like, you know, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing and how he felt about protesting and how he felt about,
because he was sponsored. He was like partnering with the NFL and stuff.
yeah, like all that stuff. And it's like, okay, but like you're missing the point.
Right.
Like, y'all can kneel, that's fine. But I'm gonna sit at the table of the commissioner and I'm gonna talk with him about it. And we're gonna talk about the way that, you know, this whole system is set up for, or really like against us. Like, if you wanna protest, like at the end of the day, it's like we all should at least be wanting to do what is most effective and also what is most authentic to us. And it wasn't authentic or effective for Jay-Z to kneel or for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have, I don't really remember all the details, but like he should have like respected that Colin kneeled, which I feel like he did. I don't really remember. But at the end of the day, it's just like kind of like what you were saying about protesting and stuff like that. And like Beyonce is like emailing, I think, the general attorney for Breonna Taylor and stuff like that. Beyonce's another person. We barely know what her twins look like. Like, she didn't post about her emailing the general attorney. Like, people found out or whatever. And so it's like, so is she less urgent because she didn't do that either? Like, granted, I mean, compared to J. Cole, she has posted a little bit more about everything that's going on, but even still, like, once again, it's all about how people choose to use their platform. And social media has tricked us into thinking that if we are not keeping up with the people around us, then we are not being as effective, or our voice isn't being heard, or whatever. But it's like, no, that's just not my voice. And like, I'm a singer, so you got sopranos, you got altos, you got contraltos, you got tenors, you got basses, you got mezzo sopranos. Everybody has a different voice, a different register. Some people go high, some people go low. You know, at the end of the day, as long as we all blend together well, and as long as we're all singing in harmony, like, that's what matters the most. So that was one point.